Have you ever wondered what truly matters once you reach the age of 70? What really holds value and what simply falls away? After decades of chasing success, navigating relationships, enduring losses, and collecting memories like treasures in a chest, a surprising truth begins to emerge. Some things we once believed were essential become utterly meaningless, and in that revelation lies a gift, a chance to finally live life on your own terms. In this video, we're going to dive into 9 things that become meaningless after 70. These aren't just theories or abstract philosophies. They're grounded in the lived experiences of people who've embraced the later chapters of life with clarity, peace, and even joy. If you've ever feared aging or wondered what awaits you on the other side of 70, this journey is for you. Let's begin with the first truth. 1. The opinions of others. For most of our lives, we strive to be accepted. We measure our worth through the eyes of others, parents, peers, bosses, even strangers. We dress to impress, speak to be liked, and sometimes we make life-changing decisions based on what others might think. But by the time you reach 70, that weight begins to lift. The realization dawns, no one else's opinion defines your worth. Why? Because you've lived long enough to see that people's judgments are often fleeting, flawed, and rooted in their own fears. You've learned that seeking external validation only distracts from internal peace. Whether it's how you spend your time, how you dress, or where you choose to live now, it's about what feels right to you. Liberation comes when you stop trying to meet everyone's expectations and start living according to your own values. The freedom is indescribable and well-earned. 2. Accumulating material possessions. A new car, a bigger house, another designer bag. In our younger years, we chase possessions like trophies. They symbolize status, success, even happiness. But after 70, the shine wears off, the closets are full, the shelves are cluttered, and the heart begins to long not for more, but for less. Simplicity becomes the new luxury. You realize that possessions take up space not just in your home but in your mind. They demand maintenance money and mental energy, and often they become symbols of who we were, not who we are now. Letting go isn't about loss, it's about making room. Room for joy, for peace, for moments with loved ones. Decluttering your life becomes a spiritual act, freeing you from the chains of stuff. 3. Social obligations that drain you. You should go to that party. You can't skip the family dinner. It's rude to decline. Sound familiar? In earlier stages of life, we often say yes out of guilt, politeness, or obligation. We attend gatherings we don't enjoy. We keep relationships that no longer serve us. We participate in traditions that feel empty. But after 70, the rules change. You realize that time is too precious to spend in ways that don't nourish your soul. Saying no becomes a form of self-respect. You learn to prioritize joy over duty, connection over performance. You begin to choose relationships that feel warm, authentic, and mutual. Whether it's a quiet dinner with a friend or a walk in solitude, you honor what you need, and in doing so, you find that life becomes more vibrant, not less. 4. Chasing society's standards. Society loves to tell us what we should be. Be successful, be beautiful, be productive. But after decades of trying to keep up, something incredible happens at 70. You stop chasing and you start being. The need to meet unrealistic standards, whether physical, financial, or social, fades. You no longer define yourself by youthfulness or accolades. Instead, you embrace presence, a quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are. Gray hair becomes a crown, not something to hide. Wrinkles are stories, not flaws. You stop trying to keep up and begin to slow down, to notice, to savor, to breathe. 5. Regretting the past. Regret can be a heavy anchor. Mistakes, missed chances, words left unsaid, they follow us like shadows. But at 70, you begin to understand. You did the best you could with what you knew. The past no longer has the power to define you. You start to forgive yourself. You recognize that each step, even the painful ones, led you to this moment. Instead of replaying old scenes, you focus on the present. You cherish the now, and you find peace in knowing that the story isn't over yet. 6. Holding on to grudges. Someone hurt you. They betrayed your trust. They never apologized. For years, the resentment brewed. But at 70, you realize that holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Forgiveness is not about forgetting. It's about releasing yourself. It's choosing peace over pain. You forgive not because they deserve it, but because you do. Grudges lose their grip when you choose freedom. 7. Fear of aging. Ironically, many people fear aging until they arrive. And then they discover that growing older brings a kind of richness youth can't offer. Perspective, gratitude, depth. At 70, you realize that aging isn't about decline, it's about unfolding, about stepping into wisdom, about finally seeing life not as a race, but a dance. You begin to wear your age with pride, not shame, because every wrinkle, every scar, every gray hair tells a story, and the story is beautiful. 8. Proving yourself to others. In youth, we hustle to prove we matter. Look at my job. See what I've accomplished. Notice me. But at 70, you know you have nothing left to prove. You are enough not because of what you've done, but because of who you are. And that's a peace no title or trophy can give you. 9. Rushing through life. So much of life is spent in a hurry. We race from one goal to the next. We chase tomorrow. We forget to savor today. But after 70, the urgency slows. You discover the beauty of being present. A sunrise becomes sacred, a conversation priceless, a quiet moment profound. You no longer rush to get through life. You let life move through you. Turning 70 isn't the beginning of the end, it's the beginning of something deeper, something richer, something truer. It's when you strip away the noise and come home to yourself. You stop living for others and start living for you. You let go of what no longer matters so you can hold close what always has. So here's to the freedom, the clarity, and the joy that comes with age. Because the truth is, life doesn't shrink after 70, it expands in all the ways that count. Thank you for watching. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. And remember, it's never too late to live fully, freely, and in alignment with who you truly are. As we explored in the previous chapter, reaching 70 marks not an end, but a beautiful turning point, a moment to release what no longer serves us, and to embrace a more intentional, fulfilling life. Now let's dive deeper into what that really means, starting with the kinds of expectations and habits that quietly lose their grip on us as we age, letting go of society's standards of beauty. For decades, we've been surrounded, sometimes overwhelmed by messages telling us what beauty should look like. Open a magazine, scroll through social media, or watch a commercial, and you'll see it: smooth skin, wrinkle-free faces, toned bodies, and youthful energy. Society has long equated beauty with youth, and many of us, consciously or not, have chased that ideal. But something shifts after 70. That race to maintain youth, to cover up gray hair, or erase the lines time has etched onto our faces, begins to feel meaningless. Why? Because those lines tell a story. Every wrinkle is a memory, every silver strand a reminder of the wisdom gained over a lifetime. These aren't flaws, they're proof that we've lived, that we've endured, and that we've grown. The pressure to conform to external standards starts to fade, and in its place comes a deeper, more grounded understanding of what beauty really means. True beauty at this stage of life radiates from within. It's in the quiet confidence of someone who knows who they are. It's in the grace, warmth, and kindness that come from years of experience. Think about it when you look at the people you admire most. Is it because they look young, or because they carry a certain presence, a gentleness, a strength? By letting go of society's definition of beauty, you free yourself to fully embrace the beauty that's uniquely yours. You no longer need to chase unrealistic ideals. There is profound liberation in accepting your reflection as it is celebrating it even. The beauty of your 70s and beyond doesn't come from creams or procedures. It comes from spirit, from authenticity, from having nothing left to prove. Holding on to activities that no longer bring fulfillment. In the earlier stages of life, we often fill our days with routines and hobbies that once brought us excitement. Weekly bridge games, club memberships, volunteering commitments, regular workouts, all of these may have once been sources of joy and purpose. But with time, these same activities can begin to feel more like obligations. Instead of energizing us, they drain us. The spark that once made them meaningful begins to dim, and yet we often continue out of habit, nostalgia, or guilt. After 70, it becomes essential to pause and reflect. Are you still truly enjoying these activities, or are you simply doing them because you always have? Letting go of outdated routines doesn't mean giving up on enjoyment. It means creating space for something new, something that speaks to who you are now. Maybe you've lost interest in that club you've been part of for years, but you find unexpected joy in painting, gardening, or writing. Maybe loud social gatherings have become tiring, and what you crave instead is quiet reflection or one-on-one conversations with loved ones. Life at this stage is still rich with possibility. Your interests, priorities, and energy have evolved, and that's not something to resist, it's something to honor. Give yourself the freedom to change, to explore, to rediscover. There's no rule that says you must keep doing what you've always done. Let your time reflect who you are today, not who you were yesterday. Tolerating toxic relationships. Not all relationships are created equal. Over the years, you may have maintained connections out of habit or obligation. Relationships that drained you, made you question your worth, or brought more stress than joy. Maybe it was a critical friend, an emotionally distant sibling, or an acquaintance who always made you feel small. By 70, one truth becomes undeniable: your emotional well-being matters. And tolerating toxic relationships no longer makes sense. You've spent a lifetime nurturing others, compromising, making peace. But now is the time to make peace with yourself. Walking away from relationships that consistently bring pain isn't selfish. It's an act of courage, of self-respect, of choosing peace over pretense. Surround yourself with those who uplift you, who see your worth, who bring laughter, comfort, and authenticity. Think of how you feel after spending time with someone who truly cares. Lighter, calmer, seen. That's the kind of connection worth keeping. By letting go of negativity, you create space for deeper, more nourishing relationships. Ones built not on obligation but on mutual love and respect. Your time and energy are precious. Spend them where your spirit is honored. Comparing yourself to others. Comparison, it's something we all fall into. We glance at a neighbor's big family gathering, a friend's travel adventures, or a sibling's financial success and think, am I behind? Did I miss something? But here's the beautiful truth. At 70, you begin to realize how futile comparison really is. Everyone's journey is different. Some people peak early, others later. Some lives are filled with adventure, others with quiet, steady purpose. There's no universal yardstick for happiness, success, or meaning. When you measure yourself against others, you deny the uniqueness of your own story. Your joys, your struggles, your choices, they're yours alone. And there's immense value in that. Letting go of comparison means stepping fully into your life. Celebrating your path, your pace, your version of fulfillment. It means recognizing the quiet victories, the lessons learned, the resilience built over time. You don't need to have done it all. You only need to have lived truthfully, loved deeply, and learned continuously. And if you've done that, you've already succeeded in the ways that truly matter. So stop looking sideways. Look inward. That's where peace and joy truly reside. As we continue this journey of reflection beyond 70, one theme keeps surfacing: the importance of letting go. Letting go of outdated ideals, routines, relationships, and comparisons has already brought us clarity. Now we turn to two more essential areas: goals that no longer serve us, and the guilt that keeps us from fully embracing joy. Clinging to outdated goals. When we were younger, many of our goals were shaped by societal expectations, cultural pressure, or the aspirations of a younger self. We aimed for career milestones, financial success, or recognition, often because we believed these achievements defined a meaningful life. But as the years unfold, something remarkable happens. The ambitions that once felt urgent begin to lose their pull. By the time we reach 70, it's time to pause and ask, do those goals still resonate with who I am today? It's perfectly okay if the answer is no. Letting go of outdated goals is not about giving up, it's about growing up. Maybe you once dreamed of rising to the top of your profession, but now find that time with loved ones matters more than any title. Perhaps you spent years chasing wealth, but now you realize that shared meals, deep conversations, or watching the sunset bring far greater joy. Releasing old ambitions doesn't erase your past efforts, it honors them. It says, that was meaningful then. But now I choose something different. This stage of life offers a powerful opportunity to redefine success. What if success now meant waking up with peace in your heart? What if fulfillment came not from ticking off to-do lists, but from nurturing your creativity, enjoying simple pleasures, or making memories with grandchildren? By aligning your goals with your present values, you give yourself permission to live with authenticity and intention. Let the goals of today reflect the wisdom of your years, not the expectations of your youth. Feeling guilty for prioritizing your own happiness. For decades, many of us placed the needs of others above our own. We cared for families, poured ourselves into careers, fulfilled obligations, and showed up again and again for the people who needed us. And while that care and sacrifice are beautiful testaments to our love, they often came with a hidden cost, the quiet erosion of our own joy. By 70, it's time to shift that narrative. Your happiness matters, deeply, and it's time to stop feeling guilty for making it a priority. Focusing on your own well-being isn't selfish, it's vital. Think of it this way, when your cup is full, you can give more generously to others. When you feel rested, joyful, and seen, you show up as your best self for everyone you care about. So what brings you happiness now? Is it quiet mornings with a book and a warm cup of tea? Is it travel painting, reconnecting with nature, or learning something new? Whatever lights you up, make space for it. You've spent a lifetime giving. Now is the time to receive, to honor your needs, your dreams, your delights. Because the truth is, your joy radiates. It uplifts others. It shows younger generations what it looks like to live fully and unapologetically. Conclusion. Letting go for a lighter, more fulfilling life. As we journey through life beyond 70, we begin to see with astonishing clarity much of what once felt urgent no longer holds the same weight. The opinions of others, the pressure to look a certain way, toxic relationships, rigid routines, or comparison, they all start to fall away. And in their place, peace, joy, freedom. This chapter of life is not about fading, it's about flourishing. It's about living more lightly, more deliberately, and more fully. When you let go of what no longer serves you, you create space for deeper relationships, for new adventures, for contentment in the present moment. So ask yourself, what can I release today? What am I making room for? You've earned the right to live with ease and authenticity. This is your moment, not to chase the old version of yourself, but to embrace who you are now with love, pride, and an open heart. Thank you for watching this video. If these reflections resonated with you, please comment 1 below. If not, comment 0. Your voice matters, and your time, it means the world to us.